Hi, you've just tuned into the Creative Life Podcast, the place where creatives go for inspiration. My name is Jessica. I'm a creative coach as well as a co-host of this show. Joining me today is Dr. Gibbons, my co-host. And Dr. Gibbons, who do we have on our show today?
Well, on our show today, we get to speak with a local entrepreneur who's using her natural creativity to bring moments of joy to events and the community. Her name is Haley Harrer, and she's the owner and operator of True Colors Face Painting and Body Art. And Haley is quite busy. She works events from birthday parties to weddings to community events, such as the Midtown Mary Market, which was just held earlier this week.
Wow, that is amazing. And you know what? We have just had some of the most amazing guests on this show. We are truly best. And I met Haley at a party. So my daughter was invited to a birthday party, as you know, they get invited to tons of them. Well, at this birthday party, they had face painting and it was just explosive. Like their faces, I'll be honest, my face as well. It's like, do I get the face paint? And so actually I got to sit down in Haley's chair and I got to talk to her, and she was doing my face painting. And as I was talking to her, I was like, wow, this is a person who has a natural creativity, someone who's been able to tap into what she has, but she's also created a business for it. So I thought about our audience at home and I said, well, there are probably some other creatives at home that are wondering, how do I start a business? What do I do? So I was like, Haley, would you be interested in coming on the show and just talking to our creatives about how you were able to turn something that was natural into a business? So, Dr. Gibbons, why don't you kick us off with the first question?
So Haley, tell us about the moment that you fell in love with painting.
Well, I've been painting ever since I could remember. Ever since I was a little kid, growing up, I've always had some kind of project going. When I started face painting, I really fell in love after I see the kids' reactions in the mirror. It's just a magical moment, and it just made me really fall in love with it. And I just love working with children. So it just came natural to me to put the two together, and I just added my art and children, put them together.
Great, thank you.
Amazing. And as you moved from childhood to adulthood, how did you keep your creativity alive? So you mentioned that all throughout your life, you've really been creative, like painting has just been innate to you. So how did you keep those sparks of creativity as, you know, you're going to school and people are saying, okay, what's your career? What are you going to do? What are you going to study? How did you keep your creativity alive?
Yeah, but it is tough. Growing up definitely kind of takes that out of you. I honestly, working with kids is really what keeps my creativity going. Being like in their world and seeing, it helps you to see things in a different light, you know? To us, a piece of trash is just a piece of trash, but to a kid, that trash could be anything, you know? You could make a toilet paper roll into a telescope, or you can find dragons with it, or, you know, it's just, the options are endless. And that's my favorite thing about being creative and art, is there is no wrong way to do it, you know?
That's amazing. And I love that. So Dr. Gibbons, you know, I'm just going to segue just a little bit when we talk about creativity and our lenses and our ages. And I love how you're able to bring in the generational perspective. So you're bringing in children into the conversation. It's like, well, actually, it's my work with children that helps keep my creativity alive. So I think that's unique. That's interesting. We haven't had that type of conversation get brought into the show before about the generational perspective. So that's amazing.
Something that I've noticed that the older we get and the smarter we get, the more we learn how to complicate things.
Oh, for sure.
And children just don't know how to do that.
Yep.
They see the possibilities, like you were saying.
Yep.
You know, a toilet paper tube is a telescope. And so it's not only are you staying inspired by using your creativity, but you're using your audience to maintain that creativity. I love that.
Yeah, I love it.
Absolutely. Haley has created her own ecosystem of
Yes.
creativity.
Yep.
Yes.
Right?
That is true.
Absolutely.
Nice.
Self-sustaining.
Yes.
You're like, hey, the kids are giving motivation. I'm giving back to the kids. And that energy is just, it keeps coming in. And as I mentioned at the beginning of the show, seeing her in her element, actually, you can see that energy. So I can see how that is your environment. And just the kids, like, they truly do. They light up when they see themselves in that mirror.
Yep.
And you have just transformed them. You have made their dream come true. Like, you take an idea. I want to be a dragon princess with red,
Yep.
the ideas are out there, but you make it happen.
Yep, and those are my favorite requests, is more out of the pocket, the request I love, because it's just, I want them to be who they want to be, and that's kind of how I chose the name for my business too, is like, show your true colors, be who you want to be, and it's always okay.
Wow, that's amazing. So along those lines, what motivated you to start a business?
Well, when I started face painting, I fell in love with it so quickly, and I realized, that going to different events and things in the community, I would just think to myself, like, wow, it'd be so fun if a face painter was here. I mean, and I just kept thinking that, and I was like, why don't I just be the face painter,
Right.
And I got all the supplies I needed. My first event was actually like a vendor event for Shadow Lake. They had like a fall festival. So I applied to be a vendor there, and after that, I just fell in love with it. People were taking my cards like, wow, you're so awesome. I was getting birthday parties after that, and it just kind of flowed naturally, honestly, yeah.
Wow, that's really amazing. And did you have to take any classes to start a business, or were you able just to self-start everything by yourself?
I just kind of self-started. I did join some groups on like Facebook and things like that, just to kind of connect with other people doing the same thing. And that was a lot of help, because you can like ask questions, so many other people who are doing the same exact things, and it's just nice to connect with other artists and stuff. And that helped a lot. And then other than that, it's just kind of me diving in and figuring out what works and what doesn't,
Right,
Absolutely.
right. So, as a woman and a small business owner, what advice can you offer our viewers if they are thinking about starting a creative business?
I would say just make sure you research everything. Connect with, if you can, other people in your community that are doing the same things. So helpful to be like on the same page. I've connected with a few different face painters and things, and they've sent me jobs that they can't do, or if I have something that I can't do, I can reach out to them and be like, hey, are you available for this? Just that networking and really being around the people who you want to be helps so much.
Oh, that's amazing.
Be around the people who you want to be.
That's beautiful. That's community building.
Yeah.
And that's really important. And we've heard that in different ways from multiple creatives that have been on the show, that your environment matters, your community matters. So the fact that you're saying, like, be around people that you want to be, like, you're surrounding yourself with that. So as a small business owner, someone who is aspiring to be a small business owner, understanding who is currently out there.
Yeah.
And then see if you can connect. But you also mentioned something else, and Dr. Gibbons, I want to let you kind of take it too. But you give back. You said something. You said that they can give me jobs, I can give them things. So it's this reciprocity as well.
So as you are reaching out and creating this network, you're receiving opportunities from those who can't. But at the same time, you're able to bring around that reciprocity, and you've seen the value it's provided for you, and to be able to feed into others who are also doing that, or who are also wanting to start their own creative business. It's yet another thing that fuels you, yet you're continuing to give back.
Yeah, it really helps. I mean, I love, especially in the business of entertainment and things, it's like, I don't want to feel like a competitor. I want to feel like partners, even though we're separate. At the end of the day, it's about the kids want their face painted. So it's about the fun. It's about having fun,
Yeah. So I'm wondering, at what point did you say, I love painting. This is something I've always loved, and I'm going to make a living out of it. Was there like a certain light bulb thing, or I don't know.
I guess it just, with me being a nanny, it really just kind of came natural. I would always take them to the zoo, and at the zoo they have face painting booths, and I would always have to tell them, not today, not today, not today. And then it kind of clicked once I started practicing and stuff. I'm like, this kind of comes naturally to me, and being able to still work with children and be a nanny and then still work with children and be a face painter, entertainer, it's just so much fun. And I can honestly say that I love what I do for work, I always thought it was cheesy when you hear like, find what you love and you'll never work a day in your life. I always thought, oh, okay, yeah.
Sure.
But honestly, I truly love what I do, and it makes me happy every day. So
I love that. It's like your job is your joy.
it is.
And that's exciting to be able to combine the business and the passion. I love that. So I have a question. How do you stay motivated when there are lulls in the market?
Honestly, I just kind of try to be creative in making different designs. That's what I love about art and face paint, just all of it, is that, there's 100 ways I could paint a unicorn on someone's face. There's 100 ways I could paint a butterfly. And it's like, it never ends with the creativity of what you can make. When I'm kind of slower, I'll focus more on like my social media, try to make videos and things like that. I also I'm trying to add more things when I do vendor events. I want to start making like headbands and do like the fairy hair and the tinsel and things like that. So my brain is constantly turning ideas. I don't ever feel, there's always something on my list of things of, oh, I could do that. Oh, I could make that. Oh, I could do this. So it just really keeps me going and keeps me creative for sure.
And that's good.
Yes.
Because in business, you have to stay in that way. And what I mean in that way means you have to continuously improve. You have to think about your market. So as your mind is turning, you're like, oh, like, by the way, I can do this design various different ways, but then I can also expand my services. So as a business person, so there's a creative side of you once again, you're honing in, saying, how can I do this design? But then the business side of you is saying, okay, how can I expand my footprint? How can I bring more clientele in? How can I also have, don't you love it when you're at the store and they ask you, would you also like to buy this? Do you also want this? But truly, it is a tactic that works. But if you're adding all these add-on services, it also keeps customers coming back. You're now full service. I can get my face paint and my tinsel.
Yep.
Get all these things
with
together.
The trends of things,
Absolutely.
you have to kind of keep up with what's popular and what's not, and yeah.
Right. So you could paint my face like a unicorn and get me a headband that has a horn, where I could be an actual unicorn.
Yep.
I love this.
See,
This is full service.
Making. Yeah,
Full
absolutely.
service. I love
Absolutely, it's full service. And then for our creatives at home, when you're thinking about a creative product, you also touched on something briefly too about social media. So she said during her lulls, during her downtime, you're not just sitting there.
Right.
It's like, okay, well, is there something I can do with my social media? Is there something I could do with my service offerings? And so if you are a creative at home and you're thinking, well, I wrote this book, but the book is done. Now what can I do? Well, perhaps you can expand your services. Maybe you help with book coaching, or maybe you're going to events or book vendor events. Like you said, you're reaching out to people in your network.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Reach out to people in your network. If you're in another creative space, well, what's your social media look like? You said, like, I'm massaging my social media. So I think these are really good tactics for our small business owners or creatives that want to be small business owners.
Now, this is something just out of curiosity. What is there a particular type of paint? Or what are the types of materials that you work with in your art?
So I only work with like high quality paints. This cheap stuff you buy on Amazon and things like that is okay for Halloween and things. But there are reputable sites that you can buy face paint off of. And it works kind of like a watercolor, which I think is why I fell in love with it, because watercolor is one of my favorite mediums. I love it. So all the paint is water activated. And it just gives me that feeling of like the watercolor. And then just painting on people's faces as the canvas.
Yeah.
Your canvas is always changing. Like everybody's face is different shape, different size, you know. So the paints I use are all different kinds of paints.
Right. So is watercolor something that you still work with?
Oh yeah,
That
for
you
sure.
do independently? Mm-hmm. Do you sell pieces? Do you teach workshops? What are ways that
That
you...
is a goal of mine. I do want to teach like painting classes sometime, but right now I just do it for fun. I give out gifts usually in the holidays. I'll paint pictures or for someone's birthday or something like that. I always make people's cards. I hate to buy cards. I'll always sit there and make it, paint something or draw something. So it's just I always have a craft of some kind going.
Right. I just had an idea. You were saying holidays. Perhaps if you offered online painting workshops
That
and
is a great idea.
someone could purchase a class or a group of classes and give that as a gift.
That is an awesome idea. Yeah.
I would buy that.
Yeah.
I love that you're pitching things. Like it's the holiday season. I'm shopping, so let me pitch things
Here's
for myself.
my list. This is what I want you to do so that I can check things off my list.
That's funny. That's funny. But actually, this is kind of segues into our next question because we're going to start talking about supporting small businesses. So can you tell us, why do small businesses matter?
I think small businesses matter because it's that individual person or people that work really hard to get where they're trying to be. And supporting a small business, it just helps, you're not supporting a big corporation. You're supporting your neighbors, your community, your people that you know. Just like at a restaurant that's family owned compared to going to a McDonald's or something like that. It just keeps the money in your community, keeps everything flowing,
Yeah, absolutely. That's great.
I like that. What are some other area events or local opportunities that you've done? I mean, we mentioned the Mary Market earlier this week. What are some other events that you've been able to
I've
be part of?
done a couple different fall festivals, different pop-up vendor events, just a handful of different things. I've done a lot of birthday parties, but a lot of my, I guess, customers come from word of mouth, honestly. I try so hard on my Facebook and TikTok and things. But honestly, it comes from, people coming from a birthday party, taking my card and telling me, oh, my friend told me about you. And, it's
Right.
just really good to network with people,
Right.
Now,
you had, I know we talked about events and weddings and things like that. I know that some of your canvases are adults. So what would be an event and an example of that, or kind of the type of work that's requested, or maybe
for a more adult
Yes.
event. So different kind of older aged festivals, dance festivals and things like that. Parties like a prom or a dance of some kind are more adult themed. The adults really like the like flower designs, kind of half-face designs. Although I'll get the occasional adult who wants to be like a full tiger, which I love it, or
Why not?
princess.
That was me. I was a princess.
Of course.
I asked her because it was a Husker game day. So I was like, I want to make me into a Husker princess. And she actually made it happen. So I was a Husker princess that day. And I was
She
like,
had the whole outfit and
I
everything.
did. I was completely decked out in red and I was ready for the game.
Do you have a selfie?
I do have a selfie. Of course, I have a selfie, Dr.
We
Gibbons.
might need to put that in the rolling credits at the end.
Oh my gosh, we should totally do that.
Fantastic.
All right, so it is the holiday season. So what can people do to support small, locally owned businesses during this season? I mean, we have buying power right now. I know people are a little bit crunched because Thanksgiving is late, so our season is a little, short. But what can we do with our buying power? And what are some things that we can do to help support during this season?
Well, obviously, if you can buy something from a local artist, that helps a lot. But really just word of mouth, sharing their post, liking their thing on social media, just the smallest things can help out, just helping them promote or just saying like, hey, I have a friend who, you're having a party, I can give you her number. Just kind of promoting your friends or businesses when you can. It really helps to just spread the word about what people sell or what they do is the biggest help you can do.
Absolutely. You know who she kind of reminds me of? One of our guests. Remember when we were talking to our actor, James?
Yes.
And how he talked about just the networking aspect and when he went abroad and then he came back, just connecting into his network. So I think, Haley, what you're talking about is the power of a network. And we have seen this in other artists that have been on the stage, that a network, don't underestimate the power of the network. The power of a network can help get you an audition. The power of the network can help get you that party or that event or that connection. And so I love the fact that you have gone beyond just our dollars. Like, okay, absolutely, you could spend, which is great, but there's also something else you can do. And like you said, you can share us with your network.
Right.
Share our name, share our information, and that's amazing.
Right. Yeah, I know it's not always possible for people to always spend money. So just kind of spreading the word about things, is an easy way and free way to support.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Just for example, you were attending a birthday party with your daughter, and now you are here, and then we will be posting and sharing and linking to your social medias. And, who knows who will be able to tap into your services.
Right, yeah.
And then all at the same time, you're still giving back.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. All right, well, let's go into our capstone question. So we just have a couple minutes left of today's episode. So someone approaches you and says, maybe it's even a little person, like maybe my daughter, she's a big toddler. I can't call her a little person anymore. She's like, I'm almost 4. But anyways, as your biggest fan and aspiring creative, what is the one rule I should live by? How do you respond?
My one rule to live by would be always have fun. Never do something you don't want to do. If you don't like it, don't do it. If you don't like it, don't wear it. Don't eat it. Don't do it if you don't like it.
Donuts for every meal. There it is.
Go for it.
Your waistband might expand, but
Elastic.
But in your creative sense, it is important to listen to that, though. If you're not having fun anymore, it's going to start taxing you from your energy. It's going to pull from somewhere because you're going to have to force yourself to do it. If you're in a creative space and you find yourself just in that, you're in the grind. You're no longer in the fun. So I think that's a beautiful rule. Yeah,
Which is why I love to face paint, because it's constantly changing. I'm never doing the same thing. Every party is different. Every face is different, and it just really keeps it exciting and fun.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. And for our audience at home, know that wherever you are, your art is worth it. And if you are stuck in the creative process, know that you have Dr. Gibbons and myself. So if you are in need of creative coaching, please reach out to us. Also, if you like this episode, please subscribe it, thumbs it up, share it with your network, because we know that that matters. And you can find us on multiple streaming platforms. So thank you so much for this journey. And Dr. Gibbons, how about you sign us out?
Absolutely. Thank you so much for joining us on the Creative Life podcast, where creatives go for inspiration. Have a good night.